Good afternoon. Hi, Pete, Carl. How are we today? Back in the railway today. Going to do a bit more work on this layout. Waiting for the engineers to come to swap over our broadband. So I'll be here broadcasting for an hour as usual, unless they come and we get cut off. Hope everyone can hear me okay. I know the cameras are looking good. Hope you all had a good weekend. Did you get up to anything exciting? I'm good, thanks, Carl. Back's a bit better now. Didn't get as much done on my own layout as I wanted to this weekend. My missus had other plans for me, so we were doing bits of DIY around the house. I got out yesterday, got a little bit done. We had a lot of rain here last night. The local rivers have burst their banks. Everything's flooded, but it is actually nice and warm outside, unlike in here in the museum where it is still freezing. So let's start doing a few little bits and pieces. Hi, Jacob. How are you? Someone just let me know you can hear me okay. First thing I'm going to do is make up a few line side signs. These are from the scale model scenery kit. Just put a few speed signs up on this side of the layout here. All right, so I think we'll make up a couple of signs, just one of these stop ones. Of course, I didn't bring a craft knife with me today, did I? Oh. Oh, yes, I did find it. Oh, we got one stop sign. I'll put a speed sign on. Say 50. And we'll put some of the width restriction signs on the tunnel mouth. I actually used to have one of these restriction signs. Don't know what happened to it. Right, so I'm just using the plastic rod that comes with the kit. This up on the side here so I don't get glue on everything. Making sure you put everything the right way around so you're not sticking the sign on upside down. Which engine are you referring to, Jacob? The red one, that is just I think that is possibly a repainted Thomas. It's just an 060 engine. Yeah, it is a repainted Thomas. If you look underneath, you can still see the blue. Don't know if you can see that. So it's just been painted in Donegal red with some gold yellow lining around it. We work with what we got here in the museum. Right, let's stick these signs on. This is a lot easier to do if you bring your tweezers with you. It needs a little bit of glue. A bit more glue on there. There we go. I'm done. Enough glue on my finger to put onto that one. Oops, that's upside down. There we go. Unless you look closely at it, you wouldn't have actually noticed it was upside down. Oh, hi, Mike. I'm glad you enjoyed that slideshow. Again, apologies about the sound, but the internet let us down that night. Once we're allowed to meet up again, myself and Jim will re-record it. Because obviously I was here in the centre. He was up in Belfast where he lives. And caused some issues. Hopefully I will be doing another talk this Sunday evening. I haven't put it up yet because I'm waiting to make sure our internet is secure here and sorted in the centre. It will be just a brief, it'll be an hour, just going over a brief history of the 3 railways in the county and a look around the museum at some of the artefacts and just a little bit of general history and a few little video clips of the different railways. And if your sister-in-law wants any information or anything, tell her to get in touch. Drop an email to manager@donegalrailway.com, and we'll do anything we can to help. And certainly when we're allowed to open again, she can come visit and get the history. Yeah, there was on the narrow gauge system in Donegal, certainly the CDR had a lot of turntables because they were using rail cars, which only had one reverse gear, so they couldn't go reverse for long distance. So they had to be turned around at each terminus station. And certainly at Burton Port, they would have had a turntable because they wouldn't have wanted to back the engine all the way into Letterkenny. Some of the turntables were actually made out of old locomotive frames. Right, I'll just let those signs dry and then I'll put them in. So I'll put this stuff away. Mike, the best way to look for old information is if you go onto osi.ie, the Ordnance Survey, you can actually layer over some of the historical maps and they will actually show you where a lot of the infrastructure was at the time, the railway infrastructure, and you can overlay it onto the modern maps and see exactly where it was. You got a lot of good information that way. Right, time to vacuum up some of that excess soil that I put down last week. So, got my tub, my little vacuum, and some of my Mrs. tights. So I might get a bit noisy now, guys. Go. Now that's saved it, so I can use that a little bit again. I'm just going to use a brush just to tidy it up. Then we'll get the static grass out. I'm just going to put some 2mm static grass in there. Okay. Quite get in there and get all of it moved. What I'll do now is I'll move the camera over, put it on top of the houses so you can see what I'm doing. Move this set of houses. All right, how's that look? There you can see into the back gardens now. All right, let's get the static grass applicator ready. So I'm going to use a mixture of 2mm, which I don't think you really need a static grass applicator to apply it because you can't really see if 2mm grass stands up. And I've got a mixture of grass here. You know what, I'm not going to use the spray because I want to be a bit more precise where I want the static grass to go. So I'm just going to use some neat PVA and a brush. Normally I'd use dilute PVA, but I don't have any here with me at the moment. So it'll just be neat. I know there will be certain people gasping at using neat PVA for static graft, but needs must. Take these out. Give them a paint because I brought some paint in with me for them today. Yeah. Paint this onto the areas where I want the grass to go. And it doesn't matter if you don't get it evenly applied because these are gardens. They will all have little bald patches and it just makes it look more natural. Right, I think that'll do. Right, so in here I just have a mixture of woodland scenics, pico, different shades of 2mm. There we go. All right. Leave that to dry for 24 hours and then vacuum up the excess. Bordemoney used to have a narrow gauge railway in Donegal and Glenties. They had a 2-foot gauge railway. It's no longer in operation. I'm not too up on the history of it. But I know there was one there. All right. Now we can take some of these flower tufts I've made. Stick them around the borders. Looks like little shrubs, flowering plants. I do need to make some more of these up. So I just made these. I'm sticking them in with a little bit of PVA glue. And just add a little bit of colour to the garden. I think the yellow and red tufts have turned out better than the purpley ones there. They're actually designed to be seed heads. What I can do once I've vacuum up the excess static grass there is I can then use some of the Woodland Scenics flower heads to sprinkle on the lawn, just to give an impression of daisies and clover growing through the lawn. Yeah, I am planning to do that, do more museum moments, because I want to do more on our rolling stock we have outside. But unfortunately, while the works are going on for Drumbo, they're all sort of piled to one side, so I can't get at them to do them justice. Plus, in our Railcar 15 is actually still decorated for Christmas, because we've been shut since Christmas. We've had no one in here to actually take the decorations down. Hi, John. How you doing? Well, but hopefully now, I even heard they're meeting today in Ireland to look at the restrictions. So I'm hoping they're going to release some of the restrictions so we can get back to some normality here. Because we really need to get the construction works finished outside. And that'll free us up then to do a lot more work and get us ready for a summer season if we're allowed to have one. I really was hoping I could get to Worley this year if it goes ahead, but I have a feeling even if it goes ahead, I won't be allowed to travel. So I'm going to put these signs in place now. go. Oh, Chris is going to be back, is he? That's good. I'll be able to catch him this week because the kids are off school, so I won't be doing the school run when he's usually on. What, the tank engine that's going up and down? That is actually just a painted Thomas the Tank Engine. There wasn't any sort of 060s of that design on the Donegal Railway. It's just one we've painted up in Donegal colours. Right, that is static grass and flowers around. Leave that to dry, vacuum that the other day. Right, I'm going to paint the now, where did I put? Oops. There. Where did I put that paintbrush with the glue on it? I'll leave them to dry. Well, the Donegal red, some say it was geranium red, and others say it is poppy red. But because all the Donegal stock was kept outside, there was no carriage sheds or that sort of thing. They were all various shades of blood and custard, red and cream. So we've painted some of our vehicles outside, and some people come up and say, no, that's the wrong color. Others say, yeah, that's the right color, and it's red and cream. So we try to be as close as we can. I couldn't get a name for the cream. The closest I found that I could get was an ivory cream. I think when I asked around, I got general consensus that that was the correct color. Even looking at the carriages that are now inside, in the likes of the Foyle Valley, up in Coltra and Belfast, they all look slightly different shades. And where did I put that telestatic grass? At times it can be very hard to please a railway enthusiast. So since becoming involved in here in the last 6 years, I've taken on a new appreciation from Irish for people who do the heritage lines in the UK. This is a lot of hard work and dedication needed to do this, and it's just when things go right, like we're getting Drumbo done and we'll get that back and everything, it's a great feeling. But when things go wrong, when there's something you can't save because you just don't have the money to do it, it's really disappointing. Yeah, I agree with you, John. Like we're lucky in this room here now, we have this Donegal town layout with the section then onto Killybegs and the Killybegs layout, and it's quite nice. And this layout will, as I say, it's going off to one of the county museum, and it'll be probably there for about 6 months. Then it'll be coming back, and it'll be going into one of our wagons then as a display with probably Thomas and Percy on it for the kids, so they can come and press a button and see Thomas and Percy go around. Because, if I lift up the camera, to give you an overview of this layout. You have Killybegs there, goes around into that corner, back around, and into Donegal town. And the section out here to Barnes Holt. And kids love it. We've put it at sort of a height where most kids can it's at their eye level. And especially down in that corner there where they can go and they're surrounded by trains. When we have it up and running properly, there's 2 trains down there going backwards and forwards to keep them used. Lights in the buildings. We have to do our best to capture the youth, to get them into railways, but not just railways, but to be appreciated of their heritage and how it can be important to look after it and cherish it, because it tells a lot about where we've come from. But my biggest bugbear is when people come here and talk to me and they go, "Do you know what you should do? You should do this, 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 and this." And I say, "Well, come along onto the board and help me to do it." "Oh no, I don't have time for that." It's like, "Well, you think I do?" Yeah, I know that myself, John, because I've got a young family. My youngest is 6, my eldest is 21, and you're always looking somewhere. And of course, a railway museum wouldn't be the first place that people would think of going to, but last year during the pandemic, when we were allowed to open during the summer, we were actually the only thing open during the summer, which we were sort of the only place people could go. And a lot of people came in and they were actually surprised and they had a good time and they enjoyed the history and the kids loved the layouts. And they'd come in here and spend 2 or 3 hours and they really enjoyed it. And now we're hoping to up the offering we have here now. When we get Drumbo back, there'll be a steam engine you can step on to the footplate and have a look around. And our rolling stock will be more accessible and we'll be able to do more displays in them because they'll be surrounded by a platform to be able to step into them. And also at the back, we'll be putting down a permanent run of our 7 1/4 inch. So again, that'll be something the kids can run up and down on. It's all about increasing these little offerings we have here and, promoting the history of the railways in Donegal, what we once had. But I do enjoy working in here and coming and doing these bits on the models and doing my best to try and preserve the stock we have and finding new bits and pieces. But you wouldn't believe the paperwork and the bureaucracy that goes with this place. And it's very hard to get people like me who will volunteer their time and give up their time. Most people think I'm mad. Yeah, Donegal Old Town Station. I'll lift up camera 3, so you can see where the engine just come in there. That is Donegal Station. That's how it looked about 65 years ago, before it closed. So you can see this section here is the toilet block. And this is actually the section we're stood in now. When we first opened this place in the 90s, we put a roof over it and turned this into the main reception area. And then you have the 2-story section, which is the, at the time, the station master's accommodation. And then the single section is where the waiting room and the ticket office was. And then you had another island platform over here, a footbridge over. But you can see this curve on this wall here is now this wall here where we have put the window up. Now the third gable wasn't actually put on until I think it was mid-1920s. When it was built, it was just the 2 gables and the single-story section. And the museum has access to just these 3 sections here. The single-story section is used by bus Éireann, or their bus drivers. But I'll be delving into some more of the history. Yeah, it can be quite tricky to square, John. We have the rail enthusiasts who come in here and they love all the history and want all the detail and everything to be exactly the same. And then at the same time, you're juggling money to try and do the best you can and try and have an offering that most of the public will come in, because it's the public that come in day to day over the holidays, that pay to keep the lights on, pay for the insurance and the running costs. Even though we've been closed for most of the year, we still have to pay the insurance. All right, electricity is down because we're not using as much. But the running costs, there's not much difference to them. Hi Tim, how's it going? How are you today? But we have a good team here. We have a very good manager he's been here 2 years now, and he's done a lot to promote this place. Getting on board with Bord Fáilte. He's been on the local radio stations, in the newspapers. Constantly going after grants and that to help us out. We're lucky that we get a bit of funding from the government for a manager and a few staff. We don't actually get any money towards the running and the upkeep of the building, so we have people who come through the door are the people who pay for that. And the likes of when we have our Easter events and our Halloween and Christmas events, which are important to us, which of course last year we couldn't have. But certainly this is sort of an all-weather place where people can come and have a look around. The kids come in and love watching the model railways, watching them go round. Before COVID, we did get some interactive tablets that they could use, but of course they're all away now. We can't use them, and we have a nice sort of green area out when the sun is out. It's nice to sit out there with a cup of coffee and just watch the world go by. Hi, Tim. Well, you're lucky that you can do day trips. We still can't go more than 5 kilometers and nothing's open. Right, what else do I have to do in this layout? I suppose I'll stick some people around and some furniture. Some of the old Hornby station furniture, the benches and trolleys and that sort of thing. They're still in their original colors. I haven't painted or weathered these at all. Oh, I've lost the camera. Why did that do that? Something went wrong. I'm not sure what happened there. It just... And we're back. Hi, Christopher. How are you doing? I hope you're keeping well. Hi, Ollie. How you doing? Good to see you here. I'm just putting some finishing touches to the layout here. Put up some signs. I'm just finishing off the gardens. I'll leave that to dry and I'll vacuum it up tomorrow. I'm just putting some street furniture around some people, just make it look lived in. And then once I'm happy with that, I can clean the track and see if I can actually get some locos running on it. And that should be as much as I'm going to do for the time being. Inside hut there. All right, let's see, I've got some naked ladies here. I don't think that would be appropriate, so I won't put them out. Bench if some people want it. I'm just going to put these around for now, and then I will glue them in at a later date. And I've found a load more sheep to put up on the hillside. Get some glue and glue those in place. Yeah, not doing too bad, Christopher. Just doing some finishing touches here. I seem to have a load of bottles of glue with just like a dribble left on the bottom that's all dried up. So I think I need to go through my glue box and start binning stuff. Right, I'll glue these sheep in and then I'll lift the camera up, give you an overview. Right, so what have we done today? We started finishing off the gardens. I put in some signs, line signs. Started putting people on the station. As well as that, I have put some sheep in on the hillside. I already put some rabbits down there. I do have some more cows and the like, but I couldn't find them last night, so I need to dig a bit deeper. I can put them in these fields here. So tomorrow I'll finish off the gardens, decide where everything goes on the station, glue that down, and clean the track, hook up the power supply, and see if we can get it running. And then that should be that ready to go to the museum whenever they open. So, any comments, criticisms, ideas? Anything I've missed, guys? No, the only plans I got, Tim, over Easter is to work on my layout and do whatever bits of DIY I need to do. The kids are all off. Obviously, don't usually see them until the afternoon by the time they get up. So I say, yeah, tomorrow I'll be in here again. And we'll see if we get some trains running on this. I've got the Irish stock, which I'll be running on here. Good old Erin Road Erin. And even Erin Road Erin. The flying snail, as they call it, on the side. So probably need a bit of a clean up to get them working tomorrow. So we'll see if we can get something running on it tomorrow. And I'll put in the washing line on that side as well. I'll give it a paint now and leave it to dry overnight and stick it in tomorrow. And that'll be that, hopefully. Hi, Oliver. How's it going? I'm just about to sign off now shortly. So I'll be back in here tomorrow to do some more work on this layout. Notice that speed limit sign has gone a bit crooked. Okay, Tim, catch you later. I'm going to sign off now, guys. And I will catch whoever's about tomorrow. So stay safe, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.